Hello everyone, my name is John.
I'm Sam, and we are the Blathering brothers. We appreciate you checking in here. And this is kind of our first attempt at the Blathering brothers, so kind of just gonna see how it goes. The title today is revolving around 3 jobs that you probably don't know a whole lot about. I'd say I really didn't know a whole lot about them. I mean, I recognize the names, and you probably will too. But again, just like the details of what it takes to be in this job.
Like I'd never heard of a doctor.
Right. What? I mean, yeah, like an accountant. I don't know what they do.
What do they do?
But yeah, so we're just going to kind of see it. I've kind of picked out obviously 3. And we have this website from thebalancecareers.com.
The most trusted news
right
on the internet.
I don't know what thebalancecareers.com is, but it's a really good site that just has like these summaries of different careers and explains kind of what education you need on it. So we're going to let John be the kind of contestant of this segment of just kind of seeing if he can guess, a little bit about him.
I don't know anything.
Right.
I have just been sitting here.
So yeah, we're just going to kind of read them off for the title. And
do they provide how much usually the salary is? Or how much?
Yeah. So they kind of talk about like the education you need for them, the kind of expected money you can make, and then also kind of this first one has like the tiers of like, you would start here and then you'd kind of move in later on in your career, move to this. So there is going to be kind of a tiered structure of what it would be.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get started. So for this first one, a purchasing agent.
Okay. Purchasing. Okay. I mean, like you said, like I know the name. Right. I've not necessarily done a whole lot of research into it, nor was that a career path that I ever considered.
So pretty much to give like an idea, would be it's like someone's helping work for like a supply chain. They're in a manufacturing company, and they're how to describe it. Helping make sure that their equipment is being handled properly when they get to update. Maybe there's certain supplies. I think I read somewhere it said like you're having to monitor the depreciation of the assets within the company. It's pretty much if a company has so much going on, they need to make sure that when they're buying stuff, it's the most cost effective, it's the most up to date, it accomplishes what their specific company needs. Once you hear that, you're kind of like, oh, duh, it's like purchasing. Like, what purchasing does the company need? For smaller groups, a purchasing agent is probably just going to be a specific role of a little person in the company. Yeah. But for a big operation, like that's like their specific job. Yeah, it's like a whole.
You said depreciation. I mean, naturally, I think of accounting, but that's something that they would have to monitor and figure out.
I don't think necessarily even for accounting purposes, but like, hey, our trucks are getting.
Oh, okay.
Our delivery trucks are getting old. We need to.
If that's their job, they'll monitor the health of their items.
Yeah, like how is it actually depreciated? I don't think for the actual like accounting purposes, they're going to have an accounting department someone doing that.
Yeah.
But if you work for a huge shipping company, you're going to need to know like, oh, our trucks, our delivery trucks are getting old. We're going to need to go out like where are we going to get replace them?
Then if need be, they'll put out bids and everything. And they'll do all the posts.
Right. That's kind of like the general idea. I'm probably messing up, and I'm sure someone could correct me. But.
So for school,
yep.
I would imagine, as far as I know, there's not necessarily specific training this. It's probably a large part on the job training, but you probably would have to have I would think, at least an AA, probably 4-year degree in order to get the job. But I would assume that any type of business degree probably would be suitable. If you had that, probably would be helpful.
Yep. And that's pretty much like spot on. The balancecareers.com says, those entering a typical office job within a supply chain or manufacturing company often work inside the purchasing department. As such, ideally, those within purchasing should earn a college degree, though some of the lower level positions do not require employees to have a college degree. However, even those without a college degree must be able to think logically and do basic math calculations if they want a future in purchasing.
Oh, we're out. Logically and counting.
If you want to climb the corporate ladder in purchasing, you'll most certainly need a bachelor's degree before you can assume positions such as purchasing manager or logistician. It's like logistics, if you want to work in logistics.
That's too big a word for me, man. So wait a second. They said you need to have an accounting degree to become a manager in...
A bachelor's degree. Just
in accounting?
Degree. No, did I say that?
I thought, don't think so. I'm sorry.
No, you will certainly need a bachelor's degree before you can assume positions such as a purchasing manager.
Okay, got it.
What I find interesting about this, and this is what goes on with, I think, a lot of jobs, if we were to look beyond just 3 jobs, is there's so much that you can get just from on-the-job training.
Absolutely.
That if you're able to get in and be like, hey, that interests me, it's not like, well, I went to go to get this degree.
Very specific, yeah.
Usually it's not. For something specific as maybe this. Like, yeah, you're going to go get a business degree. I think that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And you're going to get that, but like you should be like almost working at the job on site during it.
Correct. And that's where you learn.
So it's, again, it's not like, hey, you have to go get a business degree in order to work with us. Like, no, you work for the company. You say, hey, I really would like to work in purchasing. And you go through it. I don't know. For some reason, this title stuck out to me because, again, I feel like I've talked and interact with people that work in purchasing, but I really don't know, like, how do you get into it? Never thought about that.
Yeah. As far as income goes, I mean, I guess that can vary greatly depending on the company. But
Yeah.
I would say, you said there's different levels of like entry.
Yeah. So again, like, if you're starting at the kind of
Base.
Yeah. It's kind of tough because, again, is it just your job, like one aspect of your job? Like, oh, hey, you should assist with this. Well, you're probably not going to make specific money from that. But they said like the early part of it, the one who kind of works with early logistics, there's like kind of like, I guess you'd call it entry level.
Okay.
What do you think that would be?
Oh, man, I feel like 50,000 is a good place just to start. We'll start there.
This one, and again, this is kind of probably talking maybe working with a larger company. If you're
Okay.
starting with a smaller company, it makes sense that it's probably not going to be that
smaller.
highly paid, which really goes with
So
a
I'm
lot of
assuming this is
jobs.
going to be a lot higher than I just guessed.
No, about 75,000.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. Okay, so once you're part of that, okay.
And this one specifically talk about actually working within logistics. So it's a little more broad than just purchasing, and I'm surprised why they have this lumped all in there, but they kind of say it kind of all works together within the company of working with logistics.
So they say 75 is usually a starting place. Where does that go from there?
Sorry. It would be the like median salary.
Okay.
So it really is median.
just-
There's a range.
Okay, got
But that's like, you'd like, hey, like,
And then as you become a manager or whatever, you move.
exactly.
Got it. Okay.
So if you actually become an operations manager within that, which again kind of could be work in purchasing or just dealing within it, what do you think that would come out to?
What was the name of it again?
Operations manager.
Okay, that's part of the same thing. 125.
100.
All right.
So 6 figures
Yeah.
to work in. And again, it's the way this breaks it down is that there's many types of purchasing job titles. So that's why they can have the range there of like people who just work in logistics of purchasing, or those who actually work in the management of logistics and purchasing. So there's a lot to do, which again is really interesting because it shows it's not just one path, but within your company there's going to be different needs. And
So many.
and there's so many branches, which again I think is pretty cool for those who are looking for ideas of maybe like, what do I want to do when I get out of high school or get out of colleges? There's so many different types of options out there. So anyways,
Well, normally when you ask a kid what they want to be, they usually say purchasing.
right, that's what I said. Let me find this next one here. Whoops.
Professional athlete. Okay. Well, I'm going to guess.
There we go.
It really depends on the sport.
All right, one you've never heard of, a doctor.
Oh, wow. That really...
All right, so this one is an insurance claims adjuster. Let me give you a little idea
Wow,
here. So a day in the life of an insurance claims adjuster. You have to maintain knowledge of specialized areas, so car wrecks or home repair or whatever.
Yep.
They might do a lot of traveling because you're going to go see things that you have to determine. Okay, this is about the insurance, the cost of it, right?
Okay.
You have to be able to negotiate settlements because you're going to contact the people involved to be like, hey, I think it's only worth 10 grand to replace, and they're like, it's worth 15 grand. Like, no, I think we can meet in the middle, right? So you have to negotiate.
Okay.
You have to review policies because the people who have insurance are going to have policies.
Gosh, I hate that.
And you have to examine records, right, of like past things, or whatever. So it's a good little infographic of like what they can do.
Okay. So starting the same thing as far as schooling goes.
Yeah, let me find that real quick.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm just going to guess.
Yep.
Similar to purchasing, I'm going to guess it's probably good to have a business degree, 4-year. I would think you probably have to have a 4-year in most cases, but
Yeah, so here we go. They have it in a different order. All right.
Okay.
But here we go. But yeah, so education. Some entry-level positions require no more than a high school diploma.
Wow. Okay.
But most positions require some level of education beyond high school. Some technical schools and community colleges offer programs, for example, to prepare students to estimate damages to automobiles.
Oh wow, really? That's
Like-
crazy.
I've never presented that.
Yeah, I'd never. Yeah.
Like, unless you knew somebody in the business, you don't think of it while you're going through high school or taking classes like, I wonder what it takes to work in insurance.
Yeah.
You know? But it's weird. And so certification, whether or not insurance adjusters need to be licensed, depends on state laws. So check for specific requirements. In many states, adjusters working for an insurance company are able to work under the firm's license. So you're connected to an insurance company,
Yeah.
well-known one, state law, whatever.
Yep.
And and they kind of give you the certification. They're like, hey, we're licensed, therefore you are. And then again, of course, they're going to train you. Experience the training. Many insurance companies have in-house training programs.
Yep.
So again, it's kind of a career path that they take you under their wings,
Yeah.
under their wings to educate you.
And we're not sponsored by any type of insurance company, but Geico will save you 15% or more on car insurance if you switch. So,
But there's farmers, they know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
you can see that we're not on the same page regarding this argument.
I don't.
Whichever one sends us a check for our promotion is the one that I'll switch to.
If you see their ad on the front of our thing, then you know who we're clearly connected to. Okay, so now to get to the salary expectation, although John already knows because we're re-recording this, but he did get it. We're gonna.
I was
do
really
it over
close.
again.
We're re-recording because the video cut out. So we already kind of went through part of this, but I had guessed that the average or the median salary is $65,000.
Yep.
And it was
Median is $65,900.
so almost 66.
So about $31 an hour or so. And it said, okay, so now the top 10%. So if you're the top 10% of insurance claims adjusters, what do you think?
Let's go with 90,000.
98.6.
I was going to say 100.
Yeah, close. But again,
Top
kind of,
10.
again, that kind of range, and it's interesting. It's kind of almost the same as that other purchasing agent.
Yeah.
Was also like six figures. It's like when you get to that level, it's like, okay, you're doing about six figures.
Although in this case, you're not necessarily a manager. You're just a high level.
You're right, because again, an insurance claims adjuster isn't necessarily like an insurance agent who is bringing on clients.
Yeah.
It's just a little different there. So you're someone kind of works behind the scenes. You're working with all the numbers and doing everything like that. So again,
I think the part that would be most annoying is just having to keep track of all the policy stuff and just all the details. That part would just
true,
be annoying.
but I guess that's what comes down to the type of people that enjoy that is you kind of learn what you know within it. Like there's only so many rules, and the company, if you've been with them for 5 years, you kind of just know the ins and outs of like, hey, there's different policies and.
Yep. So shout out to all you. What's the
insurance claims adjuster?
Shout out to all you.
Insurance claims adjuster. Again, so if you want to work in insurance, you don't have to be an insurance agent.
Yep.
An insurance claims adjuster. So it's a little different. Okay.
Okay.
Last one here.
All
Number
right.
3. Let me find it. All right. Okay. It is a database administrator. All right. Let me read the thing here. Database administrators, also known as DBAs, work with technology using specialized types of software to store and organize a company's data. This could include a variety of information from confidential financial numbers to payroll data to customer shipping records. And you have to keep it secure from unauthorized access.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Kind of like the complete opposite of anything that I've ever done.
Schooling, I'm going to go with 4-year degree again.
Let me see here. All right. Yes, you must have a minimum of a 4-year college degree in a related field and relevant experience. So the education, they say a bachelor's degree in information technology or computer science. Certifications, advanced education certifications are required to work as a database administrator. Obtaining a certification specializing in various database management systems is not required, but very helpful. And they also want you to have 3 to 5 years of database experience in addition to the education requirement. So this is a little more specialized, where the other one said you learn it kind of on the job.
So would that experience take place then as you're a student as an internship? Or
Could be probably internship, or again, you're
in the company but not in that position.
Exactly. So you're working within IT. You're working with all the data, but you're not the actual database administrator. You're not the upper level guy.
Yeah.
And that's where. So this one's a little more focused.
Yeah. So for that,
Probably more responsibility.
it sounds and that's a lot of information whenever you're dealing with though all those details
Right.
and secret stuff.
All right, median. So dead middle.
Let's go with 70.
Just under 94.
All right.
94,000.
That was wait. Yeah. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Wow.
And the reason that to me this makes a lot of sense is because there's a level of responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just someone who
extreme-
works. You're not someone who just
extremely
works in
spec-
IT
extremely
and like, hey, I'm
specific.
going to fix some technical problems with the company. It's like, hey, we have important confidential data. We don't want anyone to get access
yeah.
to. You have to make sure it's running properly.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have the most high tech.
Right. Yeah. You understand
Security's
all
a
the
big deal.
nuances. You know.
No, that
there's
totally
like,
makes sense.
You know, a lot of ones and zeros.
So I'm going to guess higher. Is the higher go to a manager level, or is it just saying?
Just as top 10% of annual salaries within
Okay.
that are database administrators.
We'll go on 130.
148, so about 150.
All right.
Run it up.
Okay.
So yeah.
Top 10.
So and I knew the last one, but they also have bottom 10% of annual salary. So this 93 is someone who's in the dead middle. You know, if you're working for a smaller company, right? Smaller company, smaller
70.
operations. 52.
Oh, okay.
So again, yeah, depends on obviously the size and all that, and that's what's
Yeah,
makes it really
experience,
unique.
all of that. Yep.
Just kind of, I guess, wrap this up. What I love about these three is that one, most folks probably never really heard of that specific role. At least I have never really thought about those specific roles.
Yep.
The database one, you need the specific education, but the other two is like learn on the job, learn what your company does, and help them
Yeah.
do better. You know, they'll train you.
Yeah.
It's not this like I'm going to grow up to be a purchasing agent. You know.
So what's cool is, so even if you go to school, and in these cases, it sounds like you, for the most part, need a 4-year degree, which that'll probably be a conversation on later episode of talking about 4-year degrees. But I think the cool thing about it is, you know, here you go, you can get a 4-year degree, and maybe you can get a business degree. I got a business degree. You know, definitely very broad, but
It gets you the door.
From that, you have such a spectrum of different location or different directions you can go. Obviously, it's all kind of business related, but I mean, very different from the different roles you can have through it.
And again, it just, a business degree, of course, we're partial to it because we both graduated with business degrees, but it's like it's kind of it opens the doors so many places and so many opportunities. I mean, and that's where you can explore it. As long as you get to a company who is willing to work with their employees and let them explore, you can kind of go everywhere and do anything. And that's the thing is you can't come out with a 4-year degree and just expect I'm doing exactly what I want to do and this is it. Like, no, sometimes you have to knock on doors and figure it out along the way, which again, we can, it's kind of a topic in and of itself, like you said. But yeah, I thought these were pretty interesting. John did pretty good at guessing the salaries. It
got worse as it went along.
Yeah. You really got the, I think it was the insurance adjuster. You got it pretty spot on. But overall, I'd say pretty good. And now we know a little bit about, there's hopefully you learned a little bit about maybe some jobs you didn't know about previously.
So if you really were on the fence on what you want to do with your life, maybe you're 18 years old and you were just like, what am I going to do? There are some 3 different job ideas that you could pursue, and maybe, I don't know, if it sounds like it kind of is up your alley, what you're interested in, maybe food for thought.
Yep. All right, but that'll do it for the first episode of the Blathering Brothers, and thanks for watching.